Ms. Johnson, you claim the defendant who has a child with your first cousin is your son, Kiaris' biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you say Mr. Milford's done nothing for Kiaris, and you've dragged him to court to prove he is the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Milford, you don't believe Mr. Johnson is your son. Your claim is that you perform police actions with air defense artillery while in the Army, which exposed you to radiation, making it impossible for you to have more children. Am I correct?
Yes.
So, Ms. Johnson, what has Mr. Milford done for your son?
He's done nothing for my son, Your Honor. He didn't come to the hospital.
Nothing?
Nothing at all.
Explain.
He never came to the hospital when my son was born. Anything I needed for my son, Mr. Milford never provided anything. Mr. Milford only came by to see me. He didn't come see my son.
26 years old?
26 years old. I have 2 sons by Mr. Milford.
Your Honor, she never told me she was pregnant.
I did.
She always told me she had a tumor.
I'm sleeping with you. How would you think it's a tumor?
She told me she had a tumor.
How would you think it's a tumor if
She
I'm
said-
sleeping with you
I
the
mean,
whole
she-
time?
Did you
Now-
know at this point that he had a child with your cousin as well?
Yes, I did.
What do you know about this situation? How are you related to what's going on here?
I had a baby by him first. I dated him all the way through school. I don't understand how they even went there.
Because Ms. Johnson is
My first cousin.
your first cousin.
Correct.
Do you believe he's Kiaris' father?
Well, no,
You don't.
no, I don't. She was kind of like a roundaway girl, okay?
When you say she, you mean Ms. Johnson.
Correct. She had already had 2 kids, and then she had him.
So when you say you don't think Mr. Milford is Kiaris' father, do you say that because you know that she was intimate with someone else?
Yeah, probably about 4 or
Yeah,
5 people.
I was.
So, Ms. Johnson, you're admitting that during the
Yeah.
time you were intimate with Mr.
Yes,
Milford.
I'm trying to find somebody to love me, period. I was young. A lot of things had happened in my life, and I wanted somebody to love me. And at the time, this is what he was giving me.
I know this is very emotional. If anyone would like to sit down, you're more than welcome. In the case of Johnson versus Milford, when it comes to 26-year-old Kiaris Johnson, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Milford, you are not his father.
Thank you.
That's, wow.
I'm sorry, Kiaris. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, Kiaris. Mom, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Do you know how to find him?
Yes. He's the one that stepped up to be his father when Dwayne didn't.
I respectfully say to you today, get the test done and let him know for sure. You are suing to prove to Mr. Henderson that he is the father of your 7-month-old daughter, Zian.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say that when the results prove you right, you expect Mr. Henderson to step up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Henderson, you claim your case is simple. You say Ms. Nesbitt cheated on you with her neighbor during the window of conception, and he is Zian's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Nesbitt, what has Mr. Henderson done so far for Zian?
Well, he buy her diapers, that's about it. He doesn't do anything for my child, but buy her diapers. He does more for my 2-year-old son that he knows that's not his, than his own daughter.
Really? Well, Mr. Henderson, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, because I feel that I shouldn't have to take care of another man's baby.
But you are taking care of another man's baby, right?
Yes, but at this time, I came into this baby's life and already knew he wasn't mine, but I had a possibility that she could have been mine, but she's not, so I felt kind of hurt, so I
So there's a level of resentment there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
You also admitted, Ms. Nesbitt, that you had doubts because that's why you told him don't go sign that birth certificate.
Yes, I had doubts.
What were your doubts specifically?
Well, let me tell you how it all began. He had sex with his cousin, and I felt very vulnerable about it. And, you know...
Yes, I did, but that was before her. She already knew about that.
Okay.
Yes, let me tell you how it all...
Proceed.
You know, I received the inbox telling me she said that she had sex with my little black car and they had a baby. And I felt very astounded about it, so, I felt...
She told you before that when you was sitting in the car with your friend, when y'all left from the Riverwalk.
No, that's not true, and you got her pregnant.
Yes, it is. It's true, Your Honor. It's true, Your Honor.
But I want to know specifically why you doubt that this could be his child.
Well, I doubted because we was having unprotected sex for a year straight, and all of a sudden I had sex one time with Mr. Brown, and I ended up getting pregnant 2 weeks later.
So, Mr. Brown is...
The neighbor.
Your neighbor.
Yes.
And tell me what happened that night.
Well, me and Mr. Henderson, we got into an argument, and it led in my apartment hallway, and Mr. Brown seen, so he came to my door, he comforted me, and it led off to him coming in, giving me a massage, and led off to me, and it led off more than just the massage.
One night?
Yes, one night, and 2 weeks later, I ended up pregnant, and I told Mr. Henderson.
Do you remember this day, Mr. Henderson, when
Yes,
she told
Your
you she
Honor.
was pregnant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she also say I had slept with Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, she did?
She told me she used the condom, Your Honor. And then not too long ago, she told me the condom broke, Your Honor.
Mr. Henderson, when she told you she'd also slept with Mr. Brown, but it was just one night,
Yes, Your Honor.
did you say to yourself, well, I know now this could possibly be his child, or you tried to just, you were living in denial?
I was living in denial, Your Honor.
So you all were texting each other even after you all...
Yeah, we stayed in contact. We never
But you
lost
only
contact
had
with
sex the one time?
Just that one night on her birthday when her and him
And
got
the
into
protection
it.
broke?
I don't remember protection broke. I was buzzing a little bit, but I don't remember no protection broke. You know what I'm saying? Remind you, I just came there to comfort her that one night because them two had got into it. So I had went down there, comforted her one night, gave her a little massage. You know what I'm saying? We was chilling. You know what I'm saying? When I was massaging her, my hands led to other places, and you know what happened after that.
Yeah. So now, what happened when she got pregnant?
She had texted me and told me, I got something to tell you. I'm like, tell me. She's like, I'm embarrassed. So I'm like, don't be embarrassed, tell me. She was like, I'm pregnant. It could be you or Don, baby.
So at this point, you've been honest with both men.
Yes.
And they both know they are potential fathers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Baby Zion is born. And who steps up to the plate for her?
I stepped up to the plate for her, Your Honor.
It ain't my baby, so I ain't stepping up to no plate.
So, Mr. Brown, you said it's not your...
Because I had a condom on, and look at her. She looked just like him. She a beautiful baby. She looked just like him, you know what I'm saying?
As to whether Mr. Brown or Mr. Henderson is her biological father. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Brown, you are not her father.
Oh, hey, I told
Okay,
you.
sit down, Mr. Brown. Your name
y'all.
rhymes with clown,
I'm
but
ready,
you're
I'm
not
ready.
gonna clown today.
I'm just ready to go
calm
home.
down.
I'm just glad it's
Mr.
time.
Calm down. Mr. Henderson, you are her father.
Told you was her father from the beginning.
Are you happy?
Yes, I mean, I love to be her father, but if she can't change, I'ma leave. But I'ma
just don't
still
leave
do
your
for her,
daughter.
though. I'ma still do for my daughter, because I'm not that guy. This will be my only child.
You all now have a child together. There's a level of immaturity that is reeking in this relationship. I mean, it is just, you all just silly with it all. But you're making babies.
I mean, we make babies as long as they get taken care of, because some guys out here will just make a baby and be like, I'm gone.
Ms. Gray, you say the defendant, Mr. Pearson, has ripped your family apart because of his denial that he is your 10-month-old daughter, Kamiah's dad. You say he never denied your two oldest kids, but refuses to believe he is the biological dad of baby Kamiah, your youngest. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Pearson, you claim that not only are you not baby Kamiah's father, but you know that her dad is actually a member of your own family.
Yes,
Is
Your
that
Honor.
right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gray, you say You have 2 older children together.
Yes, Your Honor.
But he does not pay Kamiah any mind.
No, Your Honor.
What are your hopes for today, really?
I just want him to be a part of her life. Granted, I would love to have my family all together because that's what I really came here for. I just want him to treat her the way he treats the other ones. He treats them way more better than he treats her. He buys them things. He don't buy her nothing.
Is that true, Mr. Pearson?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
It is true.
Yes, it is.
And that's because of the doubt you say you have.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know how you ignore a beautiful baby like that.
It's not right.
The older children, how old are they?
1 and 2.
Do you feel like they can feel or understand that something's going on? Or is it
No.
just because you know and you see the difference?
I know and I see the difference.
Mr. Pearson, why do you doubt Kamiah is your child?
She slept with my cousin, Your Honor.
What?
Exactly what?
How did you find that out?
Being of the fact that he was at my house while I was leaving to go to work, and I just left it be. I didn't question it. You know, I thought I could have more trust in my cousin. And we moved in with them.
You moved in with your cousin?
Yeah, because at that time I didn't have suspicions until, you know, we started to move out. And I started thinking, I said, I wonder what he was coming to my house for. I'm leaving to go to work. So who was he there for? And then I moved out of there and I moved to a friend of mine's house. That's when they allegedly started messing with each other. But I look at it as if you did it once, you did it then, you've done it before, you've done it, you'll do it again. I'm a man. I know what it's like. We as men, we can be dogs.
Well, all right, say that.
You know, and that's the truth.
I'm going to
The truth is the
accept
truth.
that into evidence as fact. Ms. Gray, did you sleep with his cousin?
Yes, I did. It was revengeful. It was revengeful because he left me in North Carolina when I was pregnant with our son DeMonte to go be with his cousin's ex-girlfriend. Not only that, they have a kid together. So yes, I slept with his cousin several times too because
See, here
it
we
was
go.
revengeful.
Now the truth come out.
Mr. Pearson,
You
you
did it
were
more
never
than
told
once.
it happened more than once?
Actually, he the one that told me. And he told me that it happened, and I confronted her about it, and she lied to me, 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 and she still lies to me about it, Your Honor.
Did she ever tell you you were Kamiah's father?
Not directly. Basically, how she said you get a DNA test, basically to prove who the father is.
So she admitted that she's going to have a DNA test.
Yes. But if she didn't think that I was a father, why would she need a DNA test in the first place?
Exactly my question.
This is what I said. He said, before we even had sexual intercourse, he said, you're pregnant, right? And I said, yeah. Then we had sexual intercourse. When I had my child, neither one of them two came up there to see her.
Nope.
He told me to send a picture of her. That's when he started denying her. I constantly tell Mr. Pearson, right here, that he is the father. And he insists that it's Alex's baby. So what I told them to do was, how about y'all go get a DNA test? Because I know who I slept with and I know when I got pregnant.
But you also told Mr. Pearson it just happened one time. So in that way, you weren't telling the truth.
Now you see where I get my doubts, Your Honor?
In the case of Gray versus Pearson, pertaining to whether Mr. Alexander Pearson or Mr. Theodore Pearson is the father of 10-month-old Kamiah Pearson. It has been determined by this court the biological father is Mr. Theodore Pearson.
Can I see my daughter, Your Honor? I want to go be with my daughter now. I'm ready to be with my daughter now.
Good. So listen, you all got to figure out how to have real relationships. And that requires a level of maturity that you may not possess. But now that you have all of these children, we got to grow up. Because we're kids raising kids. And I know one thing. I can see the look of sadness and sorrow in her eyes and the look of intensity in your eyes. You don't want your children in a courtroom like this.